The sidearm, in my opinion, this is my opinion, is the best coaching tool out there for working with batters, because it's been designed to be the nearest coaching tool that we have to a bowler.
The vision I had of how people would use the sidearm was really more around practice than it was about coaching. You're going down the nets with a mate. By the time you've bowled 6, 7 overs each, you know, the quality's going, the quantity's not there. Bowling machines are great. They're not always available in those situations, and there are some quite big differences in realism with the bowling machine. So I just thought that could be a really effective way of being able to practice batting a bit better, really.
It's a fantastic coaching aid to support people to deliver a skill for longer periods of time without getting injured. I would say it's part of any player's kit bag as well as coaches.
We've taken the opportunity to retool the sidearm so it comes out of a new mould now. It's making it more robust. It's given us a chance to go higher at the top end, but it's also given us the opportunity to use more flexible plastics at the bottom end. So really, whatever format of cricket you play, whatever ability you are, one of the two sidearms, the club or the elite, is available to give you some really high quality practice. So this is club sidearm. It's for throwing slower deliveries effectively. And you can see the top fingers are fairly flexible. There's a trade-off between how stiff these fingers are and how fast you can throw a ball, but also then how accurately you can throw it. You still need like a 45-mile-an-hour delivery to eject the ball from the cup accurately.
It's really a nice entry-level one for people to use, and there's slightly lesser grip than the elite version. But what that allows for is it allows me to kind of work on that initial ball release out of the sidearm. So less about having a big load up and being able to come right back and trying to throw too quick, but working on just getting comfortable with feeling the longer stick in my hand and being able to get the ball out nice and consistently in an area.
For the elite, it's that much stiffer. You probably need to be 50 to 55 to throw accurately with it, but it can continue then. If you're strong enough arm, you can throw 80-mile-an-hour deliveries with it.
But when I'm using the elite, because it's got that tiny bit more grip, I know I can really trust it to go right back and try and put a little bit more behind the ball. You can also work on controlling swing at pace as well, get a little bit of movement off the seam, which I think is important when challenging at a higher level. Like, you can set up players for high challenge scenarios. It may not just be about challenging them with pace, it can be challenging them with lengths, challenging them with different paces, slowing it down, speeding up, but also just give lots of balls and lots of repeated throws. The process of using the sidearm, it's a case of just practicing, finding your own way, challenging yourself to be consistent with it, and don't be afraid to practice it in its environment. Take it down the nets before someone's batting, give it a few practice goes, find a natural throwing rhythm. How would you throw a ball normally, and try and recreate that with the sidearm in the hand.
In terms of what age young cricketers can start benefiting from practice with the sidearm, it's difficult to throw accurately, even with the club sidearm, much below 45 miles an hour. As soon as you can get someone who wants to face 45-mile-an-hour deliveries, then you're at the stage where you can get some really good practice out of a sidearm. As an adult, you've still got a relatively high release point, so it can be a bit bouncier than a child is used to or is realistically going to face in a game. So quite often I'll see coaches, when they've got young cricketers who are good enough to face that sort of pace, but they're still only that big, they'll maybe just get down on one knee and just be flicking them out with the club like that.
I've explored recently different ways in which I could utilise the tool for working with keepers, and I've tried to implement it into some fielding practice as well. It's brilliant for setting really long high catches. So again, it's just about exploration of how much can I get out of this tool, and how can I find different ways to make my practice fun and enjoyable, but also challenging at the same time.
It's a massive buzz seeing test players, warming up before a game with it, but it's just as much of a buzz if I'm down a cricket club, I see a parent and child just flicking some out with the club sidearm, 45 miles an hour maybe.
For players and parents and coaches, it's a fantastically versatile tool, which I think is about providing different challenges to players and helping them on their journey to achieve where they want to get to.
Looking back at how the sidearm's developed, I just feel really lucky with how it's touched the chord with so many cricketers. For someone who's not from product design background, I'm not from marketing, not from advertising, I wasn't even a good cricketer. But for all of that to have come through with still a product that people can use, people can pick up and really get some fun, some benefit from, I just feel so fortunate that that's how it's worked out really. I think maybe me not being such a good cricketer was probably a good thing, because if I could practice with one, and if I could get it down giving good practice to people I knew are much better than me, then that's translated to quite a big slice of other cricketers as well.